Welcome to One Tired Teacher, episode 174. Is two tired teachers more than one tired teacher? That's a bit of a mystery, isn't it? I don't think that I have given you a heads up or a guess what is coming on the podcast. If you have been paying attention to Instagram, then you might know. But if not, then you probably don't know. And the good news is that starting today and throughout the entire summer, all of June and all of July, I will be having a co-host, and it is Leigh Langton from Applicious Teacher. I'm super excited to have a co-host. Originally, when I started this podcast, it was supposed to be two tired teachers. It didn't work out that way, so it was only one tired teacher. But I am so thrilled to have my friend Leigh join me, and we have a blast recording this podcast. Yes, we get off on a couple of tangents here and there, and oh boy, do we have different opinions, which I think is really interesting. I mean, we have a lot of things we agree on, but there are some things that we find we have a different opinion, which I think is typical for most teachers and most teams and most schools. And instead of saying, oh, neither one of you are right, you must do it exactly like this, we say both of you are right and you can do it your way, Trina, and you can do it your way, Leigh. And that is the beauty of collaborating, or the beauty of community. I don't think that we necessarily have to agree. And I don't think you have to either with your teammates. I think it's all right to have differences. In fact, I think we should be celebrating those differences. I feel like we're stifling them on a regular basis, but we need to be celebrating them. That's the way that I like to do things. How about you? So I'm excited about this. We would love to get your feedback. Drop us a rating, review. Tell us how we're doing. What do you think of this new format? Because we're planning down the line and trying to make decisions. So give us a couple of episodes and then let us know what you think. So today, we're just going to do a little introduction. We're introducing Leigh to all of you, all of my One Tired Teacher listeners, and I am introducing myself to all of Leigh's Applicious teachers. So hopefully you will want to stick around for that.
Welcome to One Tired Teacher. And even though she may need a nap, this teacher is ready to wake up and speak her truth about the trials and treasures of teaching. Here she is, wide awake. Wait, she's not asleep right now, is she? She is awake, right? Okay. From Trina Devery Teaching and Learning, your host, Trina Devery.
Hey, so today I have really exciting news, and it's going to be like an exciting part of what's going to happen for the whole entire summer on One Tired Teacher. And that is, I have two tired teachers. Yay!
Yay!
And so, yay! And here she is. This is Leigh Langton from Applicious Teacher. Woohoo! Welcome, Leigh.
Thank you, Trina, I'm waving. I know you guys can't see that, but I'm like waving to you. Hi. Hi. Thank you, Trina, for having me. I am so excited to be joining you as like a little guest co-host for the entire summer, I guess is kind of like how we can pitch that.
Right.
Yes. And it'll definitely be two tired teachers because we are both very tired.
Yes, we are. So we are going to do a little intro so that we can get to know Leigh, and so that anyone that is listening and following along that's been in your world and doesn't know me, then we'll introduce me as well. So I'm going to start with you. So let's start with you, and then
I hate going first.
Okay. Well, then I'll go first, and then we'll do you. Okay. So I'm Trina Devery from Trina Devery Teaching and Learning, and this podcast, One Tired Teacher. Oh boy, this was this was created because I have spent, since 1997 in the field of education. I know, isn't that crazy? 1997. That
I won't tell you where I was in 1997.
You're probably in like middle school or elementary school. Elementary school? Oh gosh, I am old. I'm so old.
But like the end, I was like in 5th grade probably.
That is Crazy. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Yes, I feel old. Well, okay. So I started teaching then. I started teaching in a great time of education, to tell you the truth, because everyone was so excited about reading instruction and all the components of reading. And it was like PD galore. I felt, yes, I had so much professional development as a beginning teacher that it was truly unbelievable. And this is when we were doing the DRA, which we do more of like Fondas and Pinnell benchmark assessments now. But anyway, it was different and it was exciting, and we were like using data to drive our decisions. And it was just a really fun time in teaching. And I started in a school that allowed you, it was hard as a new teacher not to have like really any guidance, because this is before we even had like pacing guides. I didn't
Wow.
I didn't even completely understand this, and they were benchmarks then and not standards. We didn't even completely understand all of that
Wait,
stuff.
is this when FCAT was around? Wait,
Oh, gosh.
no, CTBS testing.
Well, I feel like it was FCAT. I don't know, because
Did
was
you
in
ever
first
have to
grade.
administer CTBS testing? Do you remember
Not
that?
CB, I don't even know what that is. So
Okay. That was like my that was like a high stakes testing back when I was in
Okay.
elementary school.
Well, it was F.
And we're both from Florida. So like,
Yes.
yeah.
That's right. We are both from Florida. And I first started teaching first grade. So I didn't have to do that. We were doing the Stanford 10 though. So we were doing testing. I don't think in first grade. I feel like I did that in second grade. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I got to I struggled through my first year, but I had a lot of autonomy, and you could do so many cool things and different things as long as you were tying it to that time benchmarks. And I learned a lot about that. And then I sat on curriculum teams and helped write our pacing guides. Yes. And so that was when I really learned about benchmarks. And I'm not going to tell my whole entire path because it's so long, but so I taught first grade, and then I taught second grade for forever. And second grade ended up being the grade that I stayed in when I helped open a school, and I loved it. And it was like
yeah, I feel like second grade is where you and I bonded. Like I'm a second grade teacher at heart. You're a second grade teacher at heart. Like we really are like,
yes,
second is our spot, man.
Those are my people. And so then I left the classroom in 2017, I think, or 2000, maybe it was like 2016. And I was a student support specialist. Then I was a media specialist. Then I resigned, and that's when I created One Tired Teacher, because I was so angry with education and I had things to say. And I felt like we had been silenced as teachers, and I wanted to say them.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And I wanted to share the trials and the treasures. So that's really where that came from. Then I went back, and I was a student support specialist again, and then a media specialist again. But my heart is always with those. It really is with second grade, first and second grade. My passion is reading comprehension. I love makerspace. My audience knows that I'm huge on hands-on learning, differentiated learning, different styles of learning, multiple intelligence. I have dyslexia, so like that is a huge factor in the way that I think and the way that I like to create things, and STEM. And so those are my things. All right, so that's all about me.
Man,
I'm also
really
a mom.
I am so glad I let you go first, because mine would have been like, hi, I'm Leigh and I'm a Sporky. Put me in the trap. Like that's all I would have said. I'm so glad I let you go first, because now I know what we're expecting here about our introduction.
Well, that was a long ramble too. And I don't, yeah. So you don't even have to ramble.
No, I love hearing like, especially your background, your teaching story, because I think you have such a unique view. A lot of teachers that are still teaching right now don't remember those days, right? A lot of those teachers are either retired or they quit. Yeah. So like, it's just, it like you talking about like the things you were doing back in like the 90s is so different than like what I did as a teacher in the 2000s. So, I'm glad you shared that with us, because
you're
so
right.
Cool.
It is so different. And I've also have different, my student support specialist, my first job was more of an admin and training. So I got that side of teaching, which I never didn't really want. I only did it because my principal was the greatest. I worked for him for 20 years, and then he got promoted, and then life completely changed. But
That happens sometimes.
Because I was able to do so, like I had a one-to-one iPads in my classroom towards the end of my career. I had a grant. Like I did so much technology. My kids could have gone off, online immediately. My second graders, we would have been fine. And this was in 2010 and 11 and 12 and 13 and 14. And so they were like, they knew what we used them every single day, all the time. So it would have been no problem, but it wasn't that way when it happened, because I was
and still even now a lot of schools don't have that much technology. So I'm really impressed at how resourceful you were.
Well, I had just gotten my master's in education technology and media design.
There you go.
Yeah. And I was like, I am going to do what I learned, because this is incredible. And so, yes, I wrote a grant. I made a video. That's probably why I got it, because I was the only one that made a video. And it was a video. It wasn't me just talking in front of something. It was inside a Second Life. I don't know if you remember that. It's like a crazy, alternative universe. And so I made me flying through the through the jungle and whatever on a glider.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was so fun. It was so fun. It was really fun. Anyway, all right. So Leigh, tell us about you. Tell us about Applicious teacher.
How do I follow up with this? Okay. My name is Leigh Langton. We'll start there. I am the face and creator and teacher behind the Applicious teacher. I actually started teaching in 2007, which was like when the housing market, like the bubble burst. And I think Florida felt it really hard. So when I actually started teaching, they weren't hiring teachers. Like when I graduated, they weren't hiring. So my start was like lots of scrappiness. I actually subbed for a year before even getting placed at a school. And luckily I was, but I feel so sorry for my first class. Bless their little hearts that they were with me. But I actually do you remember 9-day counts, Trina? Do you ever?
Yes.
As a teacher? Yes. Okay. Yep. So I was the teacher they hired after the 9-day count. So for those of you like listening, a 9-day count is basically like, they count the number of students for like the first whatever days. And then based on the number of students you have, they can grow
units.
Yeah. They grow units, they grow classes, or they cut them base.
Yeah.
So I'm a hand talker. I keep hitting my mic.
No,
Sorry.
it's okay.
So anyway, so I was the teacher, like the school grew. So then they brought me in to be like the second grade teacher, and it was terrible. I was in the portable, like where the rest of the teachers were all in the building on the second floor on the opposite side of the school. And then all the teachers, this is the best part, all the teachers got to pick the students that went to my class.
Oh, that's terrible. That's so terrible.
Bless them. The only requirement admin had was that it needed to be a wide variety of academic achievement. So I needed to have high achieving students, like wherever they were, like that was the only thing. So I got like, and this is October is when I started. So I got like the handpicked treasures. That the teacher sent me. Because let's be honest, if I'm given a choice, am I going to send like my
no way.
You're supposed to have favorites. Like you're not sending your favorites.
No way.
So I got like a scrappy ragtag group of kids. It was mostly boys. I think I had 18 students, and it was like 12 of them were boys, and they were rowdy. And bless that they were. Bless them. So that was my first year teaching. But like you talked about, like all this PD training. I worked in a district that was super into PD and training. So I'm very blessed in that way, because after leaving that district, I worked in a different district and they didn't do as much training for teachers. But like we had standards. Let me see. When I first started, we were under Sunshine State.
Yes.
And there was still FCAT, right? And I taught second grade for 8 years at that school. Eventually I did move out of that portable and I moved upstairs with the rest of the team. And I loved my time teaching second grade, but I knew there was a need for me to grow more as an educator. Mm-hmm. So I left that school and I got a job teaching third grade at a very different type of school,
Mhm.
Title One, just a different like group of kids. And that to me was actually when I grew the most as an educator.
Wow.
And I started the Applicious teacher when I was still teaching second grade over at the other school. So then to kind of step into this new role as a third grade teacher with my audience, it was so rewarding. My cat's coming over to say hi. But I loved teaching third grade and I did that. And then I went back down to taught second. Then I left the classroom in 2016. I think was the same year you said too.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I was home for a year. I enjoyed being home to be able to just be a mom because I also had my son. I had my son in 2012, and that's when I started Applicious Teacher. Wow. So I started my store when I was pregnant with him, and then I actually started my website on maternity leave because I missed connecting with teachers. And I was like, I need to do this. I want to connect. Yeah. So that's how that started.
That's unbelievable. Like, no, because my second baby, I had a much better maternity leave because my best friend had a baby at the same time. And we would sit and talk about teaching. I was reading The Science of Spelling, which was such a good book by Richard Gentry. Yes.
I'm assuming no relation to Science of Reading.
No. 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 But it was so good. And I loved talking about teaching. I think that's because when you love that, it becomes every part of you. I mean, it was a huge part of life for me.
It is. And it still is.
Yes.
Yeah. When I was home for that year, I realized I missed teaching so much. Also, my son was getting ready to go to the elementary school level. He was going to be in VPK. So I jumped back in and I taught fifth grade and kinder in the same year.
That's insane.
I literally almost died.
Two scariest grades until
my gosh. And two grades I've never taught before. I just winged it. I'm going to tell you, I really enjoyed fifth and I almost died in kinder.
I was going to say kindergarten, no way. Those teachers, kindergarten teachers have a special place in my heart. They need a giant raise as all.
I bow down to them. I could not. The things that would come out of my mouth.
It gets easier, but it is so hard in the beginning that you're like, I think I might die. I felt like I was I was just the media specialist with kindergarten and thought I was going to die. But fifth grade, I agree. I love fifth graders.
Oh yeah. Well, and I was so scared to teach fifth because I thought they're going to have attitudes and they're going to be,
they're the greatest.
They were so, and of course there were some attitudes, but they were so sweet. And of course my primary background, I'm coming in second grade, we're going to do crafts, guys. And they loved it.
Yeah.
So it blew me away how much I actually enjoyed teaching fifth. So I taught fifth grade for 3 months and then that was a maternity leave. And then that teacher came back, bless her. She trusted me to teach her class the first 3 months of school. I don't know if I would have put that much trust in
you were probably a gem for her because I know in my school system, we kind of have to find our own long-term subs, which is ridiculous. Hello.
That's weird.
That shouldn't be part of our job, but most of us take it on. And you're right. You do have to, you look for people. I had someone that was subbing for me when I had my son, because when I helped open a school, it was opening in August and I was due in August.
Oh, geez.
So I didn't start the year. That's how I got moved into second grade in the first place, because we were like, we don't want to put a long-term sub in first grade. Let's just put it in second, why are we dumping in second? But that's all right.
Isn't it so funny? Second grade is the dumping ground.
It really is. And so I was like, all right. And then I never ended up leaving because
you loved it so much.
I loved it. And I'm like, I did love first grade too. So there were parts of that I missed, but second grade. Yeah. So I totally trusted my long-term sub and actually didn't end up even going. I ended up taking the whole year off.
Wow. Yeah. I did not get that opportunity with my son. I physically wanted to go back. I missed teaching so much. I missed teaching so much on maternity leave for 3 months that I started a website dedicated to teachers.
Yeah.
It was great. When I think about it now, I'm like, Leigh, you probably should have been resting instead of staying up at night.
Absolutely. I don't know how you did that. I would have gone. I was like, I have to have sleep. So the sleep deprivation was a lot for me. And although I probably can see myself doing it the second time around, definitely not the first. The first time around, I was trying to find stay-at-home jobs. So I was, because I didn't want to leave my baby.
Aww.
it was sad and horrible. And I found the dumbest jobs and I tried all these different things and it was terrible. And then in the end, like I was supposed to go back. It was meant to be. And I did. And it all ended up working out. And I won a crazy contest that year. I won $10,000. Yeah. Yes. I know. I always forget about this story. So there was this is so crazy. So I had to leave my normal school because I had said I was going to take the year off. And then we were like dying financially. So it was December and I ended up finding a position at a different school that a teacher had left to become a reading recovery teacher, which I don't know if you know what that is, but it's
like an intervention teacher.
Yes. And really good intervention. Like it's
well, I know reading recovery is a program, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
But anyway, so I was sitting in the teacher's lounge, which who has time to sit in the teacher's lounge most of the time? But I was really depressed. I was a depressed teacher because I was upset about leaving my baby. And also it was a completely different kind of school. It was a lot of programs, which I don't like. And I actually would pretend like I was doing the programs and then do my own thing on the side. But
that's the dirty teacher secret. You're not supposed to tell everyone.
Well, I do tell people because I think that more people should be doing that. But
I think you would be surprised how many teachers actually are like, and do their own thing.
Do their own thing. Yeah. I think that's the way to go. So I was in the teacher's lounge and they had these like newspaper kind of magazines. Anyway, there was an ad.
Oh my gosh. Let's just remember, guys, this was probably back in the 2000s. When did you have your children?
Yes, it was the 2000s. Yes.
Just the sheer fact that you said magazine and newspapers. Like,
I know. Isn't that funny?
Those don't even exist.
I know. This is not even online. This is totally a hard copy of something that I just happened to be flipping through, which I never had time to do any of this. I don't even know how I was doing this. And then I see this ad from, I feel like it was Japan. Had they wanted they were doing a contest for teachers and you had to teach a lesson, record it, and then submit it. And I was like, okay, well, one of my kids in my class was the videographer. I did a lesson on grammar. Yeah. And I totally was in the top 10 and won $10,000. It was
Trina, this is amazing.
It was crazy. It was a crazy, my husband at the time, we thought it was a joke because we got a telegram. Which, hello, does that even exist anymore? And it had spelled the word prize wrong. And I was like,
well, it was from Japan. Maybe they didn't know.
Exactly. I think it was just a difference in spelling. And then so it wanted our bank account. And I'm like, what kind of, is this a scam? But I'm like, why would they target teachers? Like, I'm like, come on.
I know.
This can't
they're going to be putting money back in. Like they're going to see it and be like, oh no, guys, we got to put some money in that account.
We're going to put money in there.
Yeah, so her last purchase was for glue sticks. Like,
so and then like a couple days later, it was in our bank account. It was
crazy. I love that story. I have nothing cool like that to say other than
Did you ever loop with your kids or?
I never looped because when I went from second to third, I switched schools. And then, but there was a year I would have looped. I think looping, you really have to find that right class that would just
I agree.
really fill your soul for 2 years.
I agree.
And I've had a few over the years.
Yeah. It was hard to let them go in the years that I did it a couple of times from first to second. And it was, I think there are some advantages. I mean, you definitely gain some time back, but I think there's some disadvantages as well.
Oh, that is they just get so like familiar with
they're like brother and sister.
And the class and just like that honeymoon period that happens at the beginning of the year where they're on their bestest behavior because they're like, I got to impress you and show you how amazing I am.
And they're not like that the second year. They just jump right in. And you think you take that for granted and think you don't need to go over procedures and expectations. That's a huge mistake I made. And it was like, oh, no. We have to go back and go over these. I blew it that first time, but I got better. But another thing I did was platoon, which I had my.
Oh, where you split, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I taught that. And so in fifth grade, I did that. I was the ELA social studies teacher and I had a math science teacher, but that was something in the district I was teaching in all third through fifth grade teachers did.
Oh, wow.
All of them. So it wasn't an
Wow.
option. This wasn't like, oh, let's try out this fun little thing. No, it was if you taught third through fifth, you were either an ELA social studies or a math science, which, let me be honest, I hated.
You know,
I want to teach it all. I hated sharing my kids.
Oh, I think it depends on your partner.
Oh, I loved my partner.
Okay.
I just
well, that's interesting. I didn't mind. We kind of got to do it our own way though. Like whatever class would start with me and end with her, the next day I would start with the opposite class and end. So we flip-flopped like that, which gave us that whole block of time together. And also, I really feel like the afternoons are different for kids that are 7 years old. Like,
the afternoons are definitely different for kids that are like 11 years old in fifth grade too.
Yeah.
Because it was my afternoon class was so hard.
You don't want to do reading in the afternoon every day for some kids. So that's why, I don't know, it worked out really well for us. And I taught reading and science and she taught.
Oh, I love that.
I loved it. I loved that. She taught writing, social studies, and math. And we like integrated what we were doing in, because I also taught writing to reading, like responding to text.
Yeah.
Did like writer's workshop. So it was really, I don't know. It was great. It was a lot of having, like when I had struggling readers, it was a lot to have that many, because combined together, that was a large amount.
Oh yeah.
So that felt overwhelming, but everything else I loved about it.
I remember when I went to third grade, the teacher next door to me, like we just had a great relationship, and she had taught fourth grade prior to that, but her background was middle school and she loved like being departmentalized. And so she had convinced me to teach. She would do math and like science, quote unquote, but then I would do all like ELA, reading, writing, and then like kind of social studies, but it was more like integrated because like, you know,
you have
who has time to teach social studies?
Yeah.
Anyway, and oh my gosh, though, and I loved her, and I really think if we would have worked harder at it, but by the middle of the year, I was like, I can't do this anymore. And honestly, Trina, it was because I was so overwhelmed by the number of students I had to remediate in reading, especially in third grade, because in Florida, you don't pass third grade like the end of the year test, and that year was the first year they did FSA.
Oh,
and so I just was like,
no, and I agree with you.
I don't think I could have. It was so much. Yeah, the paperwork, because I had to do everything, right? So like all that paperwork, all the intervention, all the documentation, and then we also had intervention time because it was like a Title I school. Like we had a lot of sanctions placed on us that we had to do. So there was also an additional 30-minute block in the afternoon for intervention. So those kids were coming back over to me for intervention in reading. And it was a lot. And like, I hate to admit, but I think like as a teacher, sometimes you just have to admit like defeat. Like I really tried the good fight on this one, but it just wasn't working for me. And, you know, but it was a fun little experiment. And I do think if like we worked out better details, like maybe we could have made it work. And I know for a fact that when I left third grade and went back down to second, she and the new teacher did that and did it for years, and it worked amazing for them. So I think if you find the right teacher, it can work. I just think, I think I'm too controlling. I want to be in charge, and I want to know, like, I want to do reading. And if reading goes over for 45 minutes, we needed an extra 45 minutes for reading today.
Yeah.
I know with master schedules, you rarely do that, but like, and I'm very much into thematic teaching. Mm-hmm. And I loved and I missed this, the ability to take your science or social studies curriculum and work it into your reading lessons. That to me was like the special sauce. And so I just felt like there was such a disconnect whenever I felt it in fifth grade too. But in fifth grade, it was just different because they were truly departmentalized. So like, I didn't even plan with my teaching partner. She planned with the math and science team, and I planned with the reading and ELA team. We never planned together other than at the beginning of the year when we were like, okay, how do we want them to do their desk? How do we want that, that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's No, we didn't do that. We definitely planned together. We bounced idea. Like we wanted it to be like a seamless, like we were teaching our whole class. So I can't even imagine that. I do agree with you about the reading, like having that many kids that are struggling was difficult. And I probably wouldn't have been able to continue doing that long term because it really weighed on me.
Yeah. Well, and I think, like I said, third grade too, it was like extra, right? Like if they are up to level
pressure.
The good thing was, though, my background in primary made me a great third grade intervention teacher because I had all the tips and tricks of all the phonics, all the like phonemic awareness, all of that in my back pocket. Where my team teacher, she had great math build because that's what she taught for middle school, but she'd never had that kind of early primary training that I had. So I think we complemented each other there. And I think, like I said, it was great in theory because both classes were able to benefit from our expertise from each teacher, but it was rough. I sat and did intervention groups like basically all day. I felt like all I was doing intervention groups.
Yeah, there's no way. That's hard. No, I think that's really hard. Well, I think there's so much that we could say, and I think we're going to jump into our lightning round. So
oh my gosh, yes.
And in the next couple of weeks, all of our people now will really get a chance to know us better. And I think the exciting thing for me having you as a co-host is I think we're gonna stretch each other in different ways.
Oh yeah.
We have definitely come into education and learned things really differently. So I think it's gonna be an interesting partnership.
Yeah, I'm excited. Really, I'm mostly excited to all the laughs because I think you and I always have a good time when we hang out. So now we get to like laugh and over the silliest things.
Yes. And this podcast has been a little heavy for the last couple, like before this, because I was talking
education is heavy.
It is. I was talking about some hard things. So I think that, this will be a nice for the summer. Okay. Let's start with, you want to start with your first question for the lightning round?
Yeah. Okay. So this one is funny. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh, what is it called? Butter pecan.
Ooh, that's a good one.
What is yours?
Oh my gosh. Well, and you're a Florida girl, so you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Publix, which is a local grocery store here in like the Southwest, Southeast. I did teach social studies. I did. They have a ice cream that's like a frozen yogurt and it's a mint chocolate. It's like mint chocolate chip. It's vanilla, like minty vanilla. And then it has little balls of mint deliciousness in it.
Oh, I have not tried that. And
oh my gosh. I could eat an entire gallon of that.
That's
like
so
we
funny.
can't buy it because I literally, and the best part is just like digging through to find the little mint balls.
Well, now that you say that, my actual real favorite is Rocky Road because I like the nuts that are chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
But the reason I say butter pecan is because I can't eat soy, and that's the only ice cream that doesn't have soy. The only one. Yes.
Wow.
Everything has soy. Soy is awful. All right.
I know. Yeah.
So let's see. So my question is,
okay.
What is a nickname that your parents used to call you?
Oh, well, so if I was in trouble, it was Leanne. My first name is Leigh. That's my actual name, but my middle name is Anne after my grandmother. So it was always Leanne. That's how I knew I was in trouble. And someone called me Leanne because like when you're reading Leanne, you see Leigh and then Anne, right? When you're reading my name. And I literally like that fear of like, what did I do wrong? Came.
That's so funny.
So my parents didn't really have a nickname other than that, but like I was raised with 5 kids in my house. So like I'm one of 5.
Wow.
Actually I'm 2 of 5. And if you don't understand that reference, I don't know if we can be friends. Like I'll explain it off later, but anyway, so my brother had a lot of nicknames for me. He would call me Ewok, like a little Ewok, because like he would always say I would like wander around like a little Ewok from Star Wars, and then also Bessie, like a cow.
Oh, that's neat.
But he made it like sweet, like because like I had big eyes, so he'd always be like, "Oh, you're like a little Bessie." So, but that was kind of. That was it. My sister had more nicknames. Like her nickname was Duke. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. I only like my brother and my close friends will call me Treen, which I always forget about until I see someone or talk to someone from high school and they're like Treen. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Like nobody calls me that. So
Oh,
I
that's so
think,
cute though.
yeah, and then my mom would call me Puddin or my dad. I guess it was my dad, but that was,
Aw.
yeah. So I don't know. Anyway, all right, next one. Do you want
Is it my turn? Okay.
Yep.
Favorite book to share with students. Like if they were like, you get one book to read, what is it? Which one are you picking?
I can't pick one book.
You got to pick one.
I love books. All right.
How about a favorite and then maybe a runner up? Like,
okay. So one of my favorites to read to kids is Thank You, Mr. Faulkner.
Yes. Where they write the letters to the teacher.
No,
that's not it.
It's Patricia Polacco. The girl is going through school. They figure out that she has dyslexia. It's a beautiful story about how she goes through all these grades and nobody really helps her. Like they don't even notice in some cases.
Aww.
And then she gets to 5th grade and her teacher, Mr. Faulkner, helps her learn how to read. And it's beautiful.
Oh yes. Okay. I can see the cover of this
end of the book. I feel like I have to give that part away. It's my favorite part.
Yeah.
The end of the book. Okay. So at the end of the book, it has the author's a note from the author. And it's like, many years later, I saw Mr. Faulkner at this, whatever. And she's like, I went up to him and I was like, thank you for what you did. And he was like,
my gosh.
And she was the author. It's the author. It's Patricia Polacco.
It's her story.
Yes, it's her story.
Oh my gosh. But those are the best stories though. I have goosebumps like all over my arms.
Every single time I would cry and the kids would cry and we'd all cry. And then another book that I love there's so many, but another book that I just think is so sweet about friendship, and it's called Peach and Blue.
Oh, I haven't.
I can't even think of who the author is, but it's a frog and a peach that actually are friends. So it's like this unlikely friendship. But
okay. I'm on board with this.
Yeah. But the peach is sick because, it's almost time for the peach to not. And so the frog is like.
The peach is like rotting.
Yeah. The frog is like taking.
It can talk, but also it rots.
It's also
we had to keep, they drew the line. That was it. We got to keep it real.
True. That's it. But he looks at the world differently because of the way that the frog tells Peach how the world is. And I don't know, it's just so sweet. It's so sweet. It's another tearjerker. I don't know. I love books. I could just go on and on.
Yeah. Well, I love literacy. I love books. So I knew this would be a great question for you because I'm always interested in new books that I want to read. Like my son is always like, Mom, I don't need, he's in 3rd grade now. And he's like, I don't read these kind of books, but I'm like, I'm not buying them for you. I'm buying them for me.
Yeah, no kidding. I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on books. All right. What was your, oh no, I like this one. What is your most used emoji?
The heart eyes.
Oh yeah. The heart eyes.
I love the heart eyes. I love it. I don't know. It's just, it embodies what I'm always like, oh my gosh, I love it. Cause I always am loving stuff. The other one would also be the crazy face where he's like, that one. Cause I feel like my life is just crazy all the time.
I feel like I do the sideways laughing one a lot for some reason. Like the crazy laughing one. I think that one's funny. All right, your turn.
Okay. Coffee or tea? Or neither?
Tea.
Ooh. Yeah. What kind of tea?
Green tea? I do need a little caffeine, and coffee, it bothers me. I mean, I have half and half, to be honest with you. I drink tea and coffee together mixed.
Well, because most coffee drinkers are avid coffee drinkers.
If I could drink coffee like I used to drink coffee and not have a bad stomachache, then I would continue to drink coffee. But it really upsets my stomach. Yeah. So I can't do that anymore in my old age. Oh, is it my turn? Okay. What's the first career you dreamed of having as a kid?
Oh, you're going to laugh. Okay. So remember, I'm in Florida. I grew up in Florida. Mm-hmm. We moved here when I was 3. So astronaut. Whoa. I wanted to be an astronaut so bad. Oh my gosh.
That's
Then
so
I got
cool.
into like middle school. Well,
Uh-huh.
I had to wear glasses in like fourth grade is when I first got glasses. But in middle school, I realized to be an astronaut, you have to go through like the Air Force Academy and you have to have like perfect vision.
Yeah.
And
So
so
that
then I
dream was
realized my
dashed.
dream would never happen. And then I also realized that I don't like flying. So I'm really glad that that worked out, that I didn't become an
Yeah,
astronaut because I
I
think I would
know.
have anxiety every time.
So funny. I love flying, but not like that. And I wanted to be an actress. So
Ooh,
yeah, I
I'm
wanted
not
to.
surprised by that at
I
all,
love,
actually.
yeah, dressing up, different voices. I love that. I love pretending to be somebody else and completely being immersed in that world. So yeah,
I feel like a lot of teachers would say this because I feel
yeah,
like teaching allows you to kind of be an actress.
I
You have
agree.
a stage and you command the room. And to me, the best teachers are always the ones that really kind of like lean into the role.
Yeah, bring it to life.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
bring
I
teaching to
agree.
life.
I had to, ugh, this is so embarrassing. We had a newspaper article. I can't even remember what they were writing about on me. And they had to come and take a picture. And so I
Oh my
was doing
gosh.
a read
Guys,
aloud.
she won $10,000. She also had a newspaper written about her.
It was not that big of a deal, but they took the worst picture of me. I have like, cause I'm making this
So
crazy
it's like the
facial
pictures my
expression.
husband takes of me where it's like,
Yeah, like I look so bad. And I'm like, this is what, and it was a huge picture in the newspaper. And I'm like, ah,
front page spread. Your like whole face is above the fold. Like,
yes,
just
I don't ever want to do anything to do with the newspaper because when we started my school as well, not my school, but the school that I helped, I was on the leadership team. They wanted quotes from the leadership team like about
oh, the
school.
worst.
So I was so careful about what I said. And what they said in the newspaper was I said, it's going to be a real neat school.
What?
Say that. Yeah, that's what they quoted me.
He probably couldn't
Real-
remember, or she.
I did
The
not
person,
say that. I would
like,
never
probably
say
couldn't
a
remember.
real neat school. That doesn't even sound like me. I'm like, what? Well, you just made me sound like someone who doesn't have any education and I was so mad. I'm like, I'm not doing this again. This is the second time that I've looked like an idiot in the newspaper. So
I feel like
anyway.
next time we'll have to figure out the first time that you looked like an idiot in the newspaper. Cause I'm going to tell you, I've never been in a newspaper before. So
Yeah,
it's very interesting.
not that fun when they make you look dumb. So, anyway, all right, Leigh, I think you want to do one more, and then I think
I have one last one that'll be our.
Okay.
These were supposed to be rapid fire. We are not very rapid.
No, we're not. You're right.
I think we talk a little more too. Okay, first job.
Oh, at Robbie's Outlet, which is now Champs. Have you ever heard of Champs? It's a sporting goods store.
Oh, okay.
Sporting goods store, and they had an outlet on an outlet version of it, and that was
Okay.
I got a ton of free tennis shoes. So,
oh,
I started it was like when I was 15. I had a friend that would drive me to school. Yeah, drive me.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Great.
Well, thank you for being here. And I'm excited about our adventure to come. So
yeah, I'll be here all summer, right?
Yes.
It's like a pool party with 2 tired teachers.
So instead of saying this one tired teacher, I guess we have to say these 2 tired teachers.
That's up to you.
No, we can do that.
Yeah.
So, I don't even think I need a nap. I think I'm ready for more. So we'll just go with that. So these 2 tired teachers, we're excited to see you next week.
Yeah. We'll see you then.